nicely on into a game which necessarily no one was expecting the result of, which is this week's flop of the week.
Everybody do the flop.
Right then, the flop of the week this week, a brand new segment that we've got for you guys, and it's a game that a lot of people probably expected to go one way, but oh my goodness, it just proved all of us wrong. I say wrong, but it's so good to be wrong. The Amazon cameras are definitely going to be picking up this one, and that is that's Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely dismal. Well, what else can you say? Fair play to Brentford. They came in, they gave their fans the most magical return to the Premier League that you could ask for. A lot of the fans, you could see at the camera panning, there wasn't a dry eye there. The manager, he's a bit of a character anyway, but you can see him going and mingling with the fans and everything. It was absolutely fantastic to see. But a dominant display from Brentford. 2-0, absolutely fantastic. What can you say? But for Arsenal, my God, it is just dire. It is dire. Obviously, they were without Aubameyang and Lacazette, which is definitely going to hurt them on paper. But I don't know, would they have made an impact in that game? The most lively person on the pitch was Saka, which I'm hardly surprised about. The guy's he is just magic, but he's too good for Arsenal. They've got some real promising things. They did a bit of business in the summer, so we've yet to kind of see those guys kind of really impact the team yet. But defensively, again, it was just shambolic. One player we did see was Ben White, who probably had a debut for Arsenal. You'd probably want to forget. Arsenal fans were absolutely ecstatic at the signing, and I feel like any club with ambition signing a young, promising English defender, go for it. Why not? 50 million was a big price tag, but fair play to Brighton. They charged what they valued him at, and Arsenal paid the price. But I'm hoping all the best for Ben White in his career. I really am, because he's a good character. I think he's a good player as well. But who knows whether Arsenal under Mikel Arteta is the place for him to grow. We're going to have to wait and see. But the flop of the week title, I don't think it could go to anyone more deserving, if I'm honest, Reese. God's sake, they are terrible.
They are. Honestly, so the first goal for Brentford, Kanyos, when that goal went in, oh, my stomach hurt with the amount of laughter that was let out. I couldn't stop laughing. It was that funny, because it's just typical Arsenal. I think that the performance of even though he didn't score, with Ivan Toney was absolutely fantastic, bullying the Arsenal centre backs into submission. Basically, Toney was Brock Lesnaring the Arsenal defense, and that was just absolutely worldly. The performance from Brentford. All non-Arsenal fans were hoping for this performance from Brentford, and no wonder Lacazette and Aubameyang aren't turning up for games. They are feigning illness, or maybe they are ill, but let's be honest, they're not ill. It's hilarious. Saka, I feel so bad for him. It was really nice to hear the Brentford fans and the entire stadium giving him a standing ovation after his performance in the Euros this summer, and the undeserved racial hatred that he, alongside Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford and the other players in the England squad that they got. So it was nice for the Brentford fans to stand side by side and sort of give him that ovation. And it just shows how class he is. He's a kid at the end of the day. He's not going to be able to carry a failing Arsenal team. That's a lot of to be fair, maybe that's the reason why he did step up in the European final, was because he's used to having all of that weight on his shoulders because Arsenal are so bad.
Yeah, he's been carrying that team for a long time now. He's been the one with the most flair on that team for quite a while. And, obviously they have players like Pepe, which I still feel like has stuff to offer for Arsenal, and that, he just he needs to really hit his stride. You've got Emile Smith-Rowe, who, I think they gave him the 10 shirt, they gave him a new number. So they've obviously got a lot of faith in him. But Saka's probably the most interesting thing to come out of Arsenal I've seen in a long time in terms of their academy. they signed Gabriel Martinelli, and he wasn't strictly academy, was he? But they did sign him out from elsewhere. And I still think Martinelli can come good because I've seen him in some games, and I think, my God, like he is really good. He's really something. But again, who knows whether Arsenal is the place for these players to flourish? And not being funny, it will only take, like a Bayern Munich, a Dortmund, even like a Manchester City or something to come in for a bid with Saka. And as long as the bid's right, we all know that Arsenal are happy to sell. I don't think they're going to want to, don't think they'll hold him prisoner. And why wouldn't he want to go? Why wouldn't he want to go and flourish his career more? But, again, in my opinion, again, the only bright spark in that Arsenal team right now, they're in trouble. They are in trouble this season, I think.
Absolutely. And I think that we could potentially be talking about Arsenal as the flop team of the week for, the next couple of weeks as well, because not only have they lost to Brentford in week 1, but they also have to face Chelsea and the champions of England, Manchester City, in the next coming weeks. Which, I mean, if you've got Arsenal players in your fantasy league team, I wouldn't bother because it's absolutely horrendous what they're scheduling for the next 2 weeks. They're going to be suffering a relegation battle early on in this Premier League season, and poor Arteta, I think he's going to be gone by Christmas. I think Rwanda as well. The sponsors of Arsenal, they were very, very unhappy with the entirety of with their loss against Brentford, and then just being absolutely awful. So I think Arsenal had to pay, and I think the Arsenal owner had to pay the country of Rwanda like £1 million or something like that, which is absolutely crazy.
I mean, I didn't hear that side of it. I heard definitely there was some kind of diplomat or someone involved in like the Visit Rwanda and Arsenal kind of like interjecture, kind of make a comment on it. But I mean, if they did have to pay any money, that's just hilarious. So, I mean, I don't have anything specifically against Arsenal as a club. I wouldn't say I despise Arsenal. I wouldn't say I hate Arsenal. I'm definitely, a neutral to them in this situation because I really just don't view them as a threat. Like, it's been a while since I felt like any real competition did view them as a threat. So like you said, they could be a future mainstay in this flop of the week category, and we're going to have to see as the weeks come on.
I mean, to be honest, for me, I'm kind of the same. Like the flop of the week, they're going to be here. I don't hate Arsenal, but I just find them absolutely hilarious. I can't stop laughing at them. And so this week's flop of the week is Arsenal.